Welcome to episode 2 of our Wize Carbide insert wood turning series. In our last video, we used the W insert for both roughing and shaping to produce this vase. Today, we're taking the next exciting step, hollowing it out. To do that, we'll be exploring the use of the Wize square and round inserts. But before we start turning, safety is paramount. Always ensure your workpiece is firmly secured in the 4-jaw chuck, using both fastening points for maximum hold. To begin the hollowing process, we'll first drill a 40mm starter hole using a Forstner bit. The lathe is set to 350 revolutions per minute, the optimum speed for this bit size when working with a relatively hard piece of mahogany. Let's get turning. When boring, slowly advance the quill to avoid overheating the workpiece. Regularly retract the Forstner bit to clear the shavings to prevent it from jamming in the workpiece. When hollowing, there are important considerations beyond the actual hollowing process itself. Regularly check your depth as you work, always keeping in mind how deep you need to hollow. Be sure to leave sufficient material for the base of the piece, and remember to account for the space needed to remove the tenon. Now that the pilot hole is at the correct depth and the Forstner bit has been withdrawn, it's time to set up for the next stage of hollowing. To kick off the first phase of the hollowing process, I'll be working with the Wize Tools square insert. This is my go-to tool for this stage, and when set up correctly, it delivers excellent control and a clean, consistent cut. Before switching on the lathe, make sure your tool rest is positioned close to the workpiece, but be sure to leave a gap that is slightly wider than the length of the insert itself. This is an important step that ensures safe and effective tool clearance as you work. With the setup confirmed, I've set the lathe speed to 1,200 revolutions per minute, a good starting point for this phase of the hollowing process. I start with a light initial cut, gradually removing a small amount of material as I work to open up and widen the throat. With each successive stroke, I increase the amount of material removed and feed the tool deeper into the workpiece, progressing further with every pass. This is a smooth, controlled process. As you remove material, ensure you maintain a firm grip on the handle at all times. It's equally important to apply downward pressure on the tool shaft so that it remains in full contact with the tool rest throughout the cut. As the hollowing process progresses deeper into the vessel, the tool shaft must extend further over the tool rest to reach the cutting edge. This increasing overhang creates significant instability. The longer the unsupported span, the harder it becomes to maintain control and achieve a clean cut. To solve this, we angle the tool rest and advance it into the widened throat of the vessel, bringing the fulcrum closer to the cut and restoring control. Periodically stop the lathe to check that the chuck jaws are firmly secured against the workpiece. As you resume the hollowing process, use the outer contour of the workpiece as your guide. By following this external profile with your tool, you can ensure that the walls are hollowed out to a consistent, uniform thickness throughout. The Wize double shaft system was designed with the round insert on the opposite end from the square insert, and that's intentional. The square and the round go hand in hand with hollowing. The square insert handles the bulk of the material removal, while the round insert is especially suited to following the contour shape of the piece. I'll now demonstrate how to continue the hollowing process using the round insert, keeping the lathe at the same speed of 1,200 revolutions per minute. The round insert is a pleasure to work with. Its design allows for smooth, controlled in and out movements, making it easy to follow the outer contour of the workpiece. As always, we need to stay mindful not to perforate the wall. With the shape where I want it, I switch back to the square insert to clean up the bottom, creating a smooth, flowing transition from the sidewalls down to the base of the vessel. Now here's another great trick with the W insert. Flip it around so the point is facing forward, and suddenly you've got a fantastic tool for cleaning up the walls of your vessel. Just work it gently along the surface, and you'll get a really nice, refined finish. With the carbide inserts having done their job, inside and out, it's time to sand. Sanding demands a clean, unobstructed setup. Strip the lathe back, move the tool rest and tailstock, and get them out of your way. And before you touch that sandpaper, fit your respirator. No exceptions. We work through 3 grits, 150 to open the surface, 240 to refine it, and 320 to finish it clean. Lathe speed is set at 350 revolutions per minute, and that's deliberate. Sanding generates heat, and heat is the enemy of a good workpiece. Slow and steady is the discipline. Now for the finishing touch, the Wize Abrasive Polishing Paste. This isn't just any polish. Wize has formulated this paste to do two jobs at once. It's both a sanding medium and a polishing compound in a single application. It works beautifully on wood and resin, and it's completely environmentally safe. Here's what makes it different. Inside the paste is ultrafine grit, and because that grit is suspended in the paste itself, you get a virtually dust-free sanding process. No airborne particles, no mess. That means I stop my sandpaper at 320 grit. The paste takes it from there, and it takes it further than sandpaper ever could. Let me show you how it works. Start with a lint-free, non-shedding cloth. That's important. Load it with paste and coat your workpiece evenly. Then switch the lathe on. I run it at 400 revolutions per minute. Work the cloth up and down along the piece with firm, consistent pressure. Keep going until all the grit has worked through and disappears from the surface. Now for the second stage, and this is where the magic happens. Drop the lathe speed down to 200 revolutions per minute and with the workpiece turning, apply a fresh coat of paste. Work it in as before until the grit disappears completely. Then bring the speed up to 1000 revolutions per minute. Press the cloth firmly against the surface and let the polish do its work. You'll feel the difference almost immediately. The surface transforms under your hands into something smooth and alive. That texture is the wood itself revealed. The grain, the character, the natural beauty, all of it brought to the surface by the Wize Polishing Paste. With a finish I'm happy with, both inside and out, it's time to part off the vase and remove the tenon. For this, I'm reaching for the Wize parting tool. What makes this tool stand out is its carbide insert. It's deliberately slightly wider than the shaft, just enough to give you a clean kerf with zero binding. The wood never grips the shaft. Clean entry, clean exit. This is a double-ended parting tool, and it fits the Wize octagonal handle. Before you use it, take note of the two score marks on the blade. These show you exactly where to seat the collet. Get that right every time. Now, one critical detail before I make this cut. For the vase to sit stable on a flat surface, the base needs to be ever so slightly concave, not flat, not convex. So as I part off, I angle the tool just slightly to create that gentle hollow. That's what keeps the vase sitting proud and solid. Speed set to 1000 revolutions per minute, and we part off. And there she is. From a rough blank to a hollow mahogany vase, shaped, smoothed, polished, and parted off clean. The Wize square and round inserts did the heavy lifting inside. The W insert refined every curve. And the polishing paste? That mirror finish speaks for itself. This is what happens when the right tools meet the right technique. Now it's your turn. Mount your blank, trust your tools, and make something worth keeping. Thank you for watching. It means a great deal to us, and we hope you leave here ready to turn. We're Wize Tools, and we'll see you in the next one.